Central Sports Central will be giving you guys my updated college football playoff predictions for Week 10 of this 2021 college football season. And 2 months have passed now in this 2021 season, September and October. We have now finished up, and as we head into November, things are starting to heat up a bit, certainly, as the College Football Playoff Committee has now released their first rankings for this 2021 season. So that being said, we're not going to waste any time. Let's get into it for my Week 10 College Football Playoff predictions. Georgia is still number one, no surprise there, and they're going to remain at number one unless something shocking happens. I mean, you got Georgia. Georgia is the solid number one team in the nation right now. There's a huge gap between one and the rest of the nation. I mean, if you look at their schedule, I mean, they've been the only set in stone team of this 2021 season. Everything else has been super unpredictable, that being said, especially if they win out, which I expect them to, I mean, they should win out for sure, and they lose to Alabama in the SEC championship game. I mean, Georgia should be in the playoff no matter what this season, especially if they win out throughout the rest of this 2021 season. I mean, if Alabama beats them in the SEC championship game, Georgia would probably still be in the top four for sure. I mean, they'd probably be 2 or 3, to be honest with you, just because of how dominant they have been. But Cincinnati definitely was influenced by the College Football Playoff Committee. I mean, as you guys know, Cincinnati was ranked number 6 in last night's rankings for the first edition of the College Football Playoff rankings, which was very surprising to me. I mean, the AP poll has them at number 2, and the College Football Playoff Committee is going with them at number 6. So it's kind of unfortunate for the Bearcats because, I mean, now you start to ask the question, what does a Group of 5 team need to do to get into the top 4? Because, I mean, Cincinnati's been the best Group of 5 team we've seen in a long time. And the Bearcats are certainly, I think, worthy of being in the top 4, but the committee definitely did not think so. So, I mean, if you're Cincinnati in this situation, you definitely want Georgia. Georgia has to win out for you so that you can knock out Alabama of the top 4, because if Alabama takes another loss, they're out of the top 4 for sure. Unless magically we see a 2-loss Alabama team make the playoff, which, I mean, the committee is very high on Alabama right now, having them at number 2, which is pretty baffling to me. But, I mean, even if Alabama does lose in the SEC championship game, they're out of the top 4. So for Cincinnati, I mean, I think we're going to see a Big Ten team and potentially a Big 12 team. I mean, I'm not sure about Oklahoma. I mean, in the next few weeks, they've got some tough games. They got the Cowboys of Oklahoma State. They play Baylor as well. I think they play Texas. Actually, no, they already played Texas. But, yeah, so you get my point. Oklahoma definitely has a couple of tests coming up, which definitely will show whether or not that team is for real or not. But the Sooners are currently number 8 in the Week 1 rankings. So, I mean, if Oklahoma are in the Week 10 rankings, but the first week of the committee's rankings, which, I mean, Oklahoma is definitely, if they win out, they should be in the college football playoff without a doubt, because that means they have beaten Baylor and Oklahoma State, 2 teams in the top 15 currently in the rankings. So, and then, of course, you got Oregon. Oregon was kind of surprising seeing them at number 4, but assuming that Oregon wins out, I mean, they should be in the college football playoff then if the committee likes them that much, which I've got Oregon currently at number 7 in my rankings, but this week, the committee has them at number 4. So I'm assuming Oregon ends up probably in the top 4. But yeah, if Cincinnati even takes 1 loss, they're out of the top 10 probably, because the committee just does not like them for whatever reason. But yeah, I've got Cincinnati at number 6 right now because I do think Ohio State ends up winning out. They'll win the Big Ten. Michigan State definitely could do it as well, but I think Ohio State, the way that they've improved over the course of the first couple months, I think that's only going to continue and to finish up the season at number 2. But even if Oklahoma goes undefeated, if that team finishes out the season 13-0, Oklahoma could very well be number 2 as well. So I've got Ohio State or Oklahoma in whichever order at 2 and 3, and then Oregon is my number 4 because, once again, the committee seems to like them. So even a 1-loss Oregon team, if they win the Pac-12 and they win out, they should be number 4. So if you're Cincinnati here, I mean, you want Oregon to lose for sure. You probably want Oklahoma to lose as well, because Oklahoma's probably going to get the advantage over Cincinnati if they win out. Ohio State, I mean, there's not much you can do about. I mean, there's going to be a Big Ten team in there no matter what, and there's also going to be an SEC team in there no matter what. It's just a matter of whether there's 1 or 2. So for Cincinnati, you want Oklahoma to lose, you want Oregon to lose, and you want Alabama to lose for sure. So, but for Cincinnati here, I just don't see that happening right now. The Bearcats are definitely worthy of being a top 4 team, but I'm not going to put them in the top 4 for now because, I mean, until Oregon or Ohio State or someone loses, I just don't see it happening, or even Oklahoma right now. So, yeah, Alabama's my number 5. I've got Georgia winning the SEC championship game, and so they'll finish out the season at number 1, and Alabama will drop down to number 5. For the Big Ten championship game right now, I mean, I've got Ohio State and Iowa competing in that championship game, but Iowa, of course, has already taken 2 losses, so they won't even be in the top 10 if they do take a loss to Ohio State there. But yeah, Ohio State, Michigan State, it's going to be one of those teams in the college football playoff for the Big Ten. It's just a matter of who. But that being said, that wraps it up for today for my Week 10 college football playoff predictions. Let me know your predictions in the comments below. Obviously, it's kind of fun to do this every week because of, once again, how unpredictable this season has been. I mean, we're in for definitely a very interesting last month of action here in November. But that being said, appreciate you guys all watching as always. Stay tuned for more from All Sports Central. I'll see you later.